Our goal this year at Los Altos Elementary was to allow our students opportunities to speak, read, write, and express their thinking. Even though this sounds pretty simple, it's actually quite complex. Our student population is comprised of students who face many challenges in their daily lives. Some may come from a life of poverty or have experienced trauma in their lives or are entering the U.S. educational system for the first time. As a site, we asked ourselves, how will we accomplish this? Our year-long journey has focused on student output and putting talk structures in place to hold our students accountable in a fun and productive manner. Our PLC has also focused on implementing all the components of a writer's workshop. Our journey started by working on student-teacher relationships. As our staff worked on student-teacher relationships, we saw that our students wanted to express their ideas and opinions about the world. They began to open up and share their personal insights. Naturally, as students built trust and a positive rapport with their teacher and peers, our work of developing the writers came with ease. Students went from sharing their ideas in morning meetings to sharing their ideas as writers through conferences, shared writing, and peer editing. We have seen our students grow in their ability to communicate their emotions and even their insecurities. We have seen our students flourish as writers. They are now taking risks to write about important issues that matter to them, and also writing about personal experiences and unforgettable memories that tell us who they are and more about their own personal lives. As Lucy Calkins once said, we can think about our thinking and use writing as a way to outgrow ourselves. Through writing, we can re-see, reshape, and refine our thoughts. Even though our journey isn't over, we know that our amazing students have refined the way that they see themselves as writers. And they have reshaped the way that they view relationships with others. They know that they matter to us, and that their words and ideas mean something.
As a student, I always loved writing. Writing was a means for me to get out my emotions, a means for me to express myself, whether it be happy, sad, angry. But I remember when I became a teacher, that was kind of my dreaded moment. I hated seeing my students shut down. I hated seeing my students tell me that, I don't want to write, and it was because of the instruction. I felt as if I was boxing them in to become some sort of a prescribed writer. And that's not my philosophy as a teacher. That's not what I wanted from my students. So once we began the work with Lucy Calkins, I feel like all of a sudden, all of our mindsets changed. My students went from quite scared. The beginning was very nerve-wracking. We kind of just had to dive in and try it out. When you ask them to just write about whatever you want, what does that mean? And so we used our journals as kind of as seeds for writing. The students with Lucy Calkins now see a purpose. They find that someone will be reading this. They have an audience in order to publish their work. So allowing students to choose their topics, allowing students to write freely has been something that really has changed my classroom environment.
I guess one of the most important things to me and the things that I've noticed with our students is that they're excited to share their writing. Now, when I see students walking in the hall, they'll say, Miss Audie, have you seen my latest writing? Miss Audie, will you read this, please? Can you come back to my classroom and read what I wrote? That wasn't happening before. When we started this project, my goal was to create writers, to create communicators, to create people who wanted to share their thinking with the world. That it wasn't about filling in the blank, it wasn't about a test, it wasn't about a time in the day when everybody was writing about the same thing. it was about creating writers and communicators, because I believe that these children have so much to say, and I want them to be able to express it in writing. One of the things that I think has really shifted our students within the subject of writing is the fact that they can select their own topics. They get so excited and they know so much about things that are dear to them that if we allow them the time to do that, then they're more apt to want to share and express it with the world.
Hello, my name is Sean R. I'm a dual immersion teacher here at Los Altos Elementary. I teach second grade, and I just want to take a few moments to talk about how we're really developing our students how to become readers and writers at our school. And for me, one of the most important things in developing writers in my class is that I really want to start off with really rich text, really rich text that really elicits thinking with the students, authentic text that they really want to enjoy reading, that has really deep meaning, big ideas, and really good details that back up the big ideas. I start off with a shared reading with a mentor text, and during that shared reading, we're reading the text all together, and I'm developing language by having scaffolds like sentence frames and heterogeneous grouping where the students are actually learning from each other. I want them to have authentic dialogue, so that means that they're actually talking authentically about what they're reading and what they're understanding about the text and the purpose of the text. I also want them to develop a base knowledge of what the genre is and why that's important. What's the purpose of the author writing a text? For example, we're doing right now biographies, and here's some of the biographies that we're doing, and I want to make sure that it's biographies that they're texts that the students really want to read and really are interested in reading.
You can
Why do you like writing so much?
because you can write about different stuff,
Like what?
like games.
And what do you do really well as a writer?
Sound out the words.
So I used to hate writing because it was too much work to me. I couldn't spell, and I had to write it like a lot. But now I love writing because once you get to know writing a little, you love writing, and it's fun because you can express, show your feelings or write whatever you want.
Hola, mi nombre es Emma Contreras, soy de sexto grado y mi maestra es Miss Los Altos. Voy a hablar sobre cómo me sentía antes de escribir. Siempre he confiado en mí misma mucho, pero no me sentía cómoda escribiendo lo que sentía que no tenía sentido escribir. Pensaba que era muy aburrido y no tenía ideas de qué escribir. Pero cuando llegué a sexto grado, mi maestra me ayudó mucho porque se iba muy profundo a los temas de sentimientos y yo también. Me encantó y me dediqué y puse mucho mi esfuerzo para poder escribir una historia de mí misma hasta que la terminé. Y después pude escribir más historias sobre diferentes personas y eso me ayudó.
Okay, hello. My name is Hannah Ting. I'm in 6th grade from Mrs. Acuña's class, and since we're talking about writing, basically, I didn't really like when I was younger. I didn't really like writing, because I had a hard time. I didn't really get good grades, and in 6th grade this year, I still didn't really like it. So then, so I just used the prompts and created the writing until Alicia started writing her own stories, and I got inspired because of her. So then I started writing my own stories, not using the prompts.
Reslin, tell me what you enjoy about writing now.
I enjoy about writing is that we get to, sometimes we get to free write, and when I free write, it's very helpful and fun because I get to like write about stories about myself or get to write just fake stories, and it's fun because when I do my busy bees, people can say, "Oh, I like it," and ask questions and say that they sometimes they would add on to my story.
Hello, I'm D.A. Weineke, and I'm in Miss Acuña's 6th grade class. Before I started writing in 6th grade, I didn't really feel comfortable because I wasn't that good of a writer and I wasn't that good of a developer in writing. And I've developed using skills that my teacher taught me, like using hooks and using different kinds of hooks so your reader will be into your writing. Also, I used to only write 2 to 4 paragraphs, and now I write at least 5. For example, in my informational writing in the beginning of the year, I only had 4 paragraphs, and in my other informational writing, I had 5. So I could tell that I grew very well. And also, when we were writing narratives in the beginning of the year, I wasn't that descriptive, and I didn't know what to write about. And now, I'm pretty confident writing stories because I know exactly what I'm going to do.
So basically, my experience as a writer, it's been really fun because I just got into poetry for the second time since we learned doing memoirs. A memoir is basically a chunk of your life. And you write about that single moment in a bunch of different paragraphs. So basically, I did poetry when I was in 3rd grade. I studied it a lot. When I have the freedom to write, I don't know what to write about. So I think it's easier for me when I am assigned to write about a certain type of thing, because back in 1st grade, nothing really big had ever happened to me, so I've never had really anything to talk about.
Hi, I'm Maria Zamora. I'm from 6th grade from Miss Oswald's class, and before I started writing, I was really confused about writing, and I didn't really like it. When they will always say take out your notebooks, I'll be like, I won't be like that person that will take out their notebooks really fast and be excited to take the notebooks. I'll be really confused to write about, because I won't know if I will write about informative or narrative, argumentative, and I'll really be really confused. But now how I know what to write about, because my teachers already says, okay, now you're gonna write about narrative or informative. That's how I know, because now I have a purpose about writing of what I know. And I'm really confident now, because since I started writing about how my grandpa died, that's when I'm more excited, more confident to write about